All right, guys. So we are back for we are back for another episode of the Tell No Lies podcast, and today we have a guest for the first time. Yeah, I'm excited. Our very first guest. So for introduction purposes, I am Devin Physique, your host, the co-host, Dr. Ashley Contorno,
Hello, hello.
and our honorary first guest,
Yes.
Stella Andrews.
Hi.
Round of applause. Hello.
Thanks for having me.
is
Where
this-
do I look?
I know you look wherever feels
Okay.
comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah.
The cameras are everywhere, so
Okay.
whatever feels comfortable. You've done one before, right?
Yeah, but I didn't know if you guys wanted me to look like in
Us,
there. Okay.
cameras,
Yeah.
wherever.
Okay.
Yeah. Make the viewer fall in love with you more than they already
Look
do.
at these eyes.
Yes. So I was super interested. We knew we were going to have you on for sure.
At some point, yeah.
We know you both from the gym. You've obviously known Devin a lot longer than you've known me.
Yeah.
But like, I love you, girl.
Yes.
Yes.
I know. I always say no one can talk badly about Ashley
Yes.
in front of me.
And you're an avid listener of the podcast. Like,
Yes.
for
Yes.
real. Like,
No, I definitely
true
do.
supporter.
Yes.
So it's really nice that we're having you here first. It's fitting.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I definitely watch it. I'm always in the comments.
Yes, she is always in the comments.
She is in the comments.
We knew we wanted to have you on, but like I personally wanted to have you on after I had a party on Memorial Day and you guys were over
Yeah.
and you told me that the first time you masturbated was on camera. And I was like, we got to talk about this. So let's talk about that first.
Literally. So I was never really like this sexual person growing up. I didn't even know that like what an orgasm was. I was very sheltered. Like I feel like I didn't know much. I didn't know about pimps and hoes, like just a lot of things. I was very just didn't know. I was not street smart. I'm very book smart. I went to college. I'm very smart in that sense. But when it comes to streets, I just have no idea. So I didn't know that that's what people did. Like
Yeah.
it never crossed my mind as a kid or younger to like, oh, let me just play with myself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It was just never a thought of mine. So I started doing OnlyFans and I was like, well, that's what these girls are doing. So I got to sit there and do this. So I can't imagine what my first few videos looked like. I was probably just doing all the wrong
Yeah.
things. I should have pulled them because I probably still have them on my phone.
You
but
should,
it looks
you
like,
should review
Yeah.
the tapes.
yeah. So I definitely.
So wait, did you use a toy or your hand?
Hand? Yeah. It was
And-
hands for a while.
And did
Definitely a while.
you didn't come though?
No.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
pretended.
No. Yeah, I had no idea how to come. Like, I didn't even
Wait,
know.
so you're telling me that you never masturbated all your years until OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
That's
Yeah.
insane.
How
yeah.
old were you?
And, like, I was 23, maybe? 22.
Okay, so when did
Yeah.
you lose your virginity then?
When I was a freshman in high school going to
So
freshman
like
year.
if you weren't having sex,
Yeah.
that's the only time you were getting that
Yeah.
stimulation was
and
that
it
way.
wasn't even, like, good.
Was there a reason why you felt that happen?
I always felt like I just wasn't a sexual person.
I
Like,
mean, I
it
can
just,
relate.
Yeah, it just never really, like, when I have free time, like, I'm not like, oh, let me just go rub one out. I'm like, I want silence. I want to sit on, like, I like pure silence.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even like a dripping noise. Like,
Yeah.
I am so, I don't know, it's just never a desire. Like, I don't know. So it is interesting that that is now my job now. But
Yeah.
my first time ever coming was with my boyfriend D, and it was while we were having sex, and I was like, "Whoa!"
That's
He
what
made
this
me
feels
squirt.
like.
I was like,
Oh,
"What?
yes.
This
Big
is
fan.
crazy.
Big fan. Love that for you.
So it was really insane, and that's why I was so locked in with him from the beginning. I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
I didn't even know this was possible. Like with
Yeah.
just getting to that level.
I actually am a little envious, jealous. I can squirt, but only with hands. I've never
Same.
squirted with
No,
the
it is
penis.
with
Oh,
hands.
okay.
It
I
is
thought it was
with
with his
hands.
penis.
Oh, no,
But I
no.
know women who can squirt with the
Yeah.
penis, and I'm jealous.
I do see that in the scenes where it's like if you go hard enough and
Yeah.
like they do, but that's never happened to me.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Well,
It was
hopefully one day.
fingers. Yeah.
I just read a book. Some women don't like squirting. It's like 25%.
I don't. I really
Oh,
don't.
Well,
yeah.
I think it's like they
It's
get embarrassed.
No, it's so intense.
It's
Oh,
the
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 intensity.
sensation.
Oh,
feeling
the
is
actual,
so
yeah.
crazy. I'm like, whoa, like this is nuts. I don't. It's like you actually lose control.
So you're trying to shun it away.
yeah,
on
I do.
purpose.
I do.
So if you got to that point, you'd probably push them off, right? So see, that's the part
Yeah.
that I feel like I've had happen to me a lot is I can tell when a girl's at that verge of it because they're either pushing me off
Yeah.
or trying
Shaking,
to move around,
yeah.
and it's making it harder for me to get farther because I can't
Yeah.
keep eating you out if you're moving all over the place.
Like,
Yeah, like
over here, over
yeah,
there.
like I'm trying to go with you. It's like a fucking
Yeah,
which way are you going? Which way are you going? Which way are you going? You know, so that does
Yeah.
make sense. But when you talk them through it, right, it's about letting them feel like they could just release it, and the calmness of it.
Yeah.
I know it's intense,
It is.
but once you find it and then they release, then it's like it's better. But I think a lot of them stem from too, like feeling like not insecure, but
Yeah.
like, oh, I guess some of that too, but like the embarrassment of
Yeah.
like squirting all over the place and making a mess.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know?
in the book I read, there was like multiple reasons of factors contributing to why women didn't like it, and some of it was from like the emotional standpoint, some of it was the physical sensation. So,
Yeah.
but I love it.
Now, what about some girls have never done it, right? So there's some girls that have never experienced that. Now, do you feel like both you women have you both squirted?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
obviously you have.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, do you think that that's something that everyone's capable of doing, or it's a case to case basis, and some just don't know how to get to that point?
I think everyone can with the fingers.
I think yes,
Yeah.
but I think like the emotional barrier for a lot of women
Yes.
is probably so hard. Like as much physical stimulation as you could get, like you might not emotionally be able to let yourself get there.
True.
So
If you're with a guy who's like just sucks, like he doesn't make you feel comfortable, he doesn't make you like, let's say you queef and he like laughs at you.
Yeah.
Like no, if
That's-
I
yeah.
queef, which is every single time I go from doggy to missionary, I can't help it.
Yes.
Literally. D's like, oh yeah, that pussy's talking to me. Like, yeah, make me feel comfortable. I don't want you to be, because I'm already embarrassed. Sounds
Yeah.
like I'm farting. Like,
Women
it's
come
crazy.
emotionally
Yeah.
before we come physically.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
But isn't that just the in and out aspect, like constantly going in and out, that
Yeah, and
causes it to make that noise?
Well, when you're in that position,
And
it
the air
sucks in
pocket?
air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gravity,
Yeah, yeah.
air. Yeah.
It's literally air. Like
Yeah.
you can't help it.
Yeah.
But no, it's definitely the person, because if they're just going to make you feel uncomfortable and you're never comfortable with them, which a lot of people in relationships are,
Yeah.
then I don't think you're ever going to get to that climax. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's definitely no way.
Because I've done it where I just literally go like this on
Yeah.
the top, and it's everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Well, that's a true squirter.
Yeah.
Like
It's
that's
like-
a true squirter.
Yeah.
But you gotta. But see, okay. So why, when you say that, like,
Yeah.
why does that person? That's the stimulation, all that you need. I don't even have to be inside.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Like-
need like rough
Same,
inside
yeah.
angle,
Angle.
up and down
Yeah.
motion. Yes. It's like
See,
very.
so how do you? What's the difference between the two? Like, how do you?
I
Like,
would say anatomy. Like
Yeah.
a lot. Like if you're predisposed to squirt easier than
Yeah,
others.
if you're like a squirter, like when you come every time you're squirting, I feel like any which way you do it is we could come without squirting
Yeah.
in that way. I could come by doing that, but I'm not going to squirt.
Yeah.
So I think if you're just like a squirter.
but for a video purpose, that's perfect.
Oh, it's great.
This is
Oh,
perfect because
yeah.
I can pull out and just go like this, and
Yeah.
it's like.
And
Yeah.
then it's splash zone.
That
Actually,
that
just-
is great for like a video for sure. I definitely agree.
So that was your first cum with a
Yeah.
squirt. I am so proud
yeah,
of you.
it was. It was. That was crazy. Now 5 years later.
So you've been doing OnlyFans for 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe like 6, but I took it seriously like 5 years ago when I moved to Vegas. At home, like I was doing it in my little 1-bedroom apartment, but it was like the solo stuff.
What's
like,
home compared to Vegas?
Jersey is
Okay.
very I'm from like it's a big town, but it's like just country land, like a lot of farms, and I don't know, they're very like not in this world. Like
Yeah.
everyone thinks it's crazy what I do. Definitely like when people say they want to get into OnlyFans and everything, and they're like, oh, I don't care, I'm wondering what people are gonna think. Like I'm definitely from the town where it's like everyone judges you for doing that, so you really gotta not care.
How?
You know,
Let's
like
just get right into that.
Yeah.
How has that affected you? Like your friends and family, obviously they know you're super
Yeah.
famous
yeah.
online.
Some of my friends, like I went to, I'm friends with a few girls still from high school, and some of them will tell me like their friends were like, oh, how are you even friends with Stella? Like, what do you even have in common with her? Like, they think I just fuck all day. Like, guys, this is crazy. I do other things. Like, I have other hobbies.
I do think that that's a common perception.
It
like,
is.
That
Of
just
course.
people
Yeah.
think all you're doing all day long is just having sex.
Yeah, I'm like, I haven't done a scene in weeks, actually.
I have more sex than
yeah.
the both of you.
Straight
Be
up.
real.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel like I there's so much like
Well, I guess
more.
the part that doesn't make sense is like it is a job, right? At the end of the day,
Yeah.
so you don't say to someone that's a blue collared man that's construction worker, "What do you got in common with this construction worker?"
Yeah.
Like you guys still go out on the weekends and drink or whatever. So
Yeah.
why would that make a difference? But I think it's just the taboo that's still
It
around
is.
the OnlyFans concept.
And it's hard. They think they don't want me around their boyfriends or they don't want me around their man. Like, I personally don't even want their mans following me because I do OnlyFans. If I had a personal page, that'd be different. But, like, why do I really need your man sitting there following me and seeing me shake my ass, asking for people to sign up to my OnlyFans? Like, if I posted real substance of my life, like, I could get it. But the occasional dog picture, come on.
Yeah.
Like,
that's not why they're following you.
Clearly,
Sorry.
you don't need to follow me for the
Your
every
dog's
few
adorable,
days
but-
seeing my dog. Like, that's about the extent of what I like post on there. I just don't feel like people really care about like much more than what they're there to see.
So how did you actually start doing OnlyFans? Like, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, I went to a content. Well, I started doing like pictures, photo shoots, and I was always because I was not like overweight, but I was a little chubbier. And then I lost a bunch of weight and I was feeling good about myself. And I was just posting pictures and I started doing photo shoots. And I loved like, it started with just loving doing like the sexy photo shoots. And then it just kind of spiraled. It definitely did. I met this girl at an event. It was a photographer that I was just doing a photo shoot with. And she was there before me. And her manager was sitting there talking to me while she was finishing up the shoot. And she said, I'm like, manager? Like, who is this girl?
Yeah.
Like, she has to be someone of status. So she asked me, she was like, oh, do you want to come and do a shoot tonight? My dumbass thought she meant a photo shoot. No, she meant full on girl, like eating my pussy, strap on. And I I literally thought I was walking into like this cool photo shoot. And I was like, okay. And so that was really my intro because I'm not good at being like, no, now I am. Like, I've put boundaries up, but back then
so
I
you
was
just went
like,
in?
Yeah,
You're like,
sure.
So you did it. So you did it.
Yeah, that was the first time I ever even seen a pussy, really, besides
See,
my own.
and you know what's crazy about that too is, okay, you know how we do all the testing and everything.
Yeah.
So obviously that
no,
girl,
back in the day, like 5 years ago, people were not testing like that.
which is crazy,
Porn,
right? To see
yes.
it now.
OnlyFans, no.
Yeah.
Like, I was going to content events with like 20 people in that house. No one was tested.
Yeah.
Not one. Like, it's
I feel
crazy.
like people weren't taking it seriously like that back then.
But it was right at like, so what that content thing was like 2 months before COVID started. So then COVID started and that's when everyone just started killing it.
Yeah.
Like girls who were making, this girl who I was talking about, she was making like $10K a week. 50, that was her cut, 50%. So she was making like $20K a week.
Damn.
At that time. And then when COVID started, she was like, girl, I'm making $40K my cut per week.
Damn.
Like, it was crazy.
Because everyone's just at home, just
jerking
doing
it.
nothing. Yeah.
And the stimulus checks, like everything, like the government was feeding the people there for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, the PPPs.
Yeah.
You know, so that was definitely a crazy time. And I didn't really take it seriously then. Like, I did that scene, but then I wasn't really like, it was still like fun for me. I got this inheritance when I turned 18 and I was just like, felt like it was never going to end.
Yeah.
And I was traveling, working with all the OnlyFans girls, doing all the photo shoots, but like wasn't doing the back end work of like monetizing it, making the money. Like, I would have dumb photo shoots on my OnlyFans and the random girls, but I wouldn't do like a lot in between. Like, I just didn't care.
How old were you at this time?
Like 22, 23.
Okay. So you're young, yeah.
Yeah. And then I was like, I blew through the inheritance, which was a lot of fucking money, over $100,000. And
just living the life.
Yeah,
like...
I went to Australia 4 times.
I mean, hey, you got a lot of life experience.
Yeah, I traveled the world, I will say. I lived in Dominican Republic for a month. I don't know why I did that.
Why not?
Hey.
Why not? Because you could.
And I did it by myself. Like, I was very good about doing things just on my own. And I would always go to the gym and meet people and be like, show me around your country.
Yeah. I love that.
So, I started, I blew through it and I was like, all right, that was really stupid. I should have put all that money into promo and just blown up, and I didn't, because back then that's when people were buying posts from World Star. They were paying like $6K a post and making like 20, from posting their viral skits. And finally I was like, all right, I gotta take this serious. And I started with him and my boyfriend and I started doing videos. He's like, let's just start doing boy girl, like you might as well. We did, and I still wasn't making that much money. Like we were saving our stimulus checks for our rent. We were definitely struggling. And then I started working at the club because I couldn't afford with just OnlyFans. And I worked like 2 weeks at Hustlers. Hated it. And I don't drink, so I was just miserable. I was sober.
You were doing dancing?
Yeah. And I was, after 2 weeks, I was like, I'm going to post every day on TikTok till I go viral. And like, fuck this. Because girls were paying remember that Baddies page?
The Baddies only or
something? They were paying $6K for promo on that and making like 30 in subscriptions. So I was like, I just need to go viral. So I posted every day. One video popped off. I was clapping my ass from the front and lit PJs. My apartment was empty because we were broke. So it echoed like crazy.
Which you're really good at that, by the way. She's really good at that.
And I was probably the same size now, so like thicker than I normally am. And so it sounded crazy. And I made $20K overnight.
I remember that video because we did one that way.
Yes.
Remember it was
with
me,
Kayla.
And we were like, which one's clapping?
So obvious.
Because it clearly wasn't her.
So
I actually
obvious.
just showed her that video.
Yeah, that's how I know. I was like, damn.
Yeah, and it was crazy. So that started, and I never that was always my baseline. Like I gotta always have at least 2,000 paying subs, and that's whenever I get under that, I start to freak out.
Were you like Instagram famous at that time, or is that kind of how
you can have 200,000 followers on Instagram and make no money. That to me is not impressive anymore. Like the following, because I got one viral video of my stepmom and I that got 100 million views, then you can grow 1 million from that.
Yeah.
And I think I gained 600,000 followers from that one post.
Damn.
So it's not really impressive to me, the following. That's
If
just
it
like,
doesn't
whoa,
convert.
yeah. That was one hot video, but if you don't keep that up, it's not going to last.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and I always say that too when it comes to the videos. Like, are they going to OnlyFans after that? Because that's great. They could follow you on Instagram, but that's not translating to money.
No, yeah, that's definitely not. And they don't. Like, some of them definitely don't. Especially the countries that you're in.
Yeah.
I want to know. I want to change direction.
Yeah.
Since you are an educated woman,
yes.
I want everyone to know what you went to school for and your degree and how you've applied it.
Well, first I went to SUNY Cortland, which is in upstate New York. That's a state university. And so SUNY just means State University of New York. And then there's Albany, Cortland. That's just the city that it's in. And went there for 2 years, got kicked out for smoking weed, had a 3.8 GPA, but they did the strike system, and the third strike of me getting caught smoking, they kicked me out.
In your dorm or something?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
So you couldn't smoke, period. Well, because back then it was probably illegal.
Yeah.
It was fully.
Yeah.
And there I was hotboxing my car and then going back into the room reeking. It was so bad. And they kicked me out, and I went to a private school in New Jersey, Rider, and I got my degree in business. But it was good that I got kicked out because at first I was going for special education, and that wouldn't have helped me really in any form now. Yeah. So I really do like helping people, but I'm money driven, so I like to have a career that really is going to be making some money. And with special ed, it's just not really possible.
Do you think that your education formally has helped you with OnlyFans and your brand and being able to manage your own business in that aspect?
I feel like I'm level-headed and I'm good at staying consistent. I do treat this as a job more so than just oh, let's have everyone over and drink and party and get content done in the time. People work with me, I show up, I'm very about my business, and I get out. It is so quick. And I don't like to really stay and have friends. That's not really what I'm here for. And I do feel like sometimes people in the industry just they're not hard workers. They just kind of go through life all I'm like, how do you live like that?
Yeah.
So I feel like college kind of gave me structure into where I feel like this is a job and I'm trying to really make this last.
But when you first started OnlyFans, Did you feel like you were like that with that, like how they are, how people are? Because very much so. There's a lot of people that treat it very casually
Yeah.
and aren't the way that we are.
Yeah.
But when you first got into it, did you feel like you were that way?
No, I definitely, but I had money from the inheritance. So
Mhm.
it's like I'm money driven. So once I realized, oh, I need to make this work. Like I chose to do this. Like I kicked right into gear.
Was that right when you guys started making videos?
Well, at first we didn't do videos at all together. It was I did interviews, street interviews. I would go to Fremont and I would bring my guy Victor and I would do kiss or slap videos.
You still do those now?
Yeah, I post them, but those are old.
Oh,
Kind of.
okay.
It's been probably a year since I've done them. I did it every single week for a whole year. I have thousands of interviews, thousands. And that's how I started. Like my whole TikTok's built from the interviews. And then, well, the first million's probably the interviews and the second million's probably skits.
We had talked about, but like, remember when we first became friends?
Yeah.
I targeted you because you were doing OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing it.
Yes.
But I was doing the funny videos.
Yes.
So at that time period, where was your timeline with OnlyFans? Like, were you doing I don't think you were doing boy girl content then, were you?
That was very new of D&I. Like him and I were very like new.
Yeah, I remember you had said that you guys were like you had
Yeah.
a boyfriend. And I was like, is he cool with it? You're like, yeah, he's cool with it. No problem, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, I do love that about him. He lets me kind of do my thing with that stuff. Like I can do skits with other people, and it's not like,
Yeah.
like weird. I'm like, I need to be able to do skits with these people, but I think that time is probably when I was still doing the interviews and like pretty videos and like the trends.
Now, were you on OnlyFans? What were you selling at that time?
I think I was doing like solo, girl, and maybe there's been like 2 sex tapes with him at that point. But my first sex tape was with him.
Was he filming your girl stuff?
Some of them, and some of them he
and
would let a photographer.
And from a
or
business
whoever.
standpoint, at that point, were you like, okay, this is my focus. Now I'm really driven that way, or were you still kind of lackadaisical like the other girls?
I also was helping girls run their pages, so it wasn't such a priority in the beginning because I had other people's.
You're doing other things.
Yeah, I had other people's. And then when you realize how crazy these girls are and they'll just drop you in a second and be like, oh, I want to quit OnlyFans today and just stop. And
I know the feeling.
One girl was so on drugs that she thought I was stealing from her. And then 2 years later came back to me and was like, I'm so sorry. I was like heavily on drugs.
Oh, shit.
Because I didn't talk to her again after that. I'm like, don't think that I steal. Like, you call me anything, but I am not a thief. Like, that's crazy. So I definitely dealt with some crazy people. I was like, I need to really be focusing on mine and my own so that I don't have to rely on these people. I'd be running it. I'm like, you guys are making such great money. Please just give me another boy girl, like something. And they just wouldn't, like lazy. So it's like it would affect my money when I'm like, I could just be doing this, getting the videos done, doing what I need to do. So it's on me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what kind of got me to really take it seriously myself.
When did you guys branch from doing like boy girl to the main content that you guys produce is pretty much like girl, boy.
Yeah. We do a lot of threesomes, foursomes, fivesomes. We do a lot of that. I still do regular boy girl too with him. So we started that maybe like 2 months after we started boy girl. Like it was not
pretty quick.
Yeah, it was not long. And it was hard for him at first, like for the men out there, it's not always easy to like, don't get down on yourself if it's, you get nervous in front of a girl for the first time. Like even with the professionals who do this, like that happens. Like our first threesome, he was so nervous that we did the first one. The first night, he couldn't get hard. Second night, he got hard, but nutted in like 3 seconds. So in the third night, we did it and he couldn't nut. So we took the cum shot from the second one.
Man.
The video. So I just say that in the sense of everyone gets nervous. heard a lot of people who will message me on OnlyFans and be like, how did they do it? How did they do it? But, you know, everyone's human. Everyone goes through.
Well, and it's practice too, right?
It's practice. Yeah. Every guy's going to get nervous at some point in their life. It doesn't make them not a man or anything like that.
And this isn't his jam. Like he
No,
wasn't
yeah, this
doing...
was his first threesome too. And mine too. Like
Yeah.
it was our first threesome. So it's like, of course you're going to be like, whoa.
Well, I mean, even if you're doing it for a while, there's still times where
Yes.
your dick doesn't get hard
Yes.
or you come too soon.
Yes.
Or, I mean, that's life,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
and
I can
it's
meet
a big girl, so you're like even more nervous.
Yeah,
you know
there's
what
so
I mean?
many variables. I mean, and then obviously you go, is it me? Is
Yeah.
it me? Because that also is the
Yes.
contrary to that. Is like, oh, you can't go hard. Is it my fault? It's like, no, there's a lot that goes into it.
A
That's
lot.
not the normal way of just meeting somebody, vibing with them, and then having your natural sex.
Yes.
There's a lot of like build up to it.
Yes.
You know, and that, I think that goes on both sides of the spectrum, both
Yeah.
male and female too.
Oh, for sure. You just can't tell with the female. So
Yes.
it's like,
yeah, there's nothing that
yeah,
reflects
there's
it.
nothing that would show. So I feel like guys get really in their head. So I
Yeah.
just had to let them know it's okay.
It's okay.
I mean, people struggle when it's not filmed. So imagine adding
no,
that.
exactly. Yeah.
You know, and,
adding
and,
the
and then
filming.
he's not a creator.
Yes.
You know, so you're throwing him into the wolves with,
Yeah.
hey, I need you to perform in this light when he wasn't necessarily conditioning his brain like this is the route that I'm going for myself.
Mhm.
So I got to learn how to get better. Now he's learning on the fly like shit, okay, I'm going to be doing these consistently.
Yeah.
How do I
How do I-
perform
yeah.
without having any issues?
Yeah. So that's definitely just with time. Everything is with time.
When you guys are choosing creators to work with,
Yeah.
do you prefer it's like people you know or just other people in the industry or a blend?
I prefer probably not people I really know. I work with the people in the industry. I've kind of kept it now to where it's strictly business. I have some people that I'm like cool with, but I also like I'll never just call them to be like, "Hey, what's up?"
Like
I
hang
do,
out outside
yeah,
of-
like
yeah.
with my girls from home, like I talk to them on FaceTime all day, you know. So I won't really do that with girls in the industry. But you know, it's taken a lot. In 5 years, we've been through a lot. I do want people to know, you go through shit in a relationship, especially when you're doing things sleeping with other people.
Yeah.
And it's about how you grow from it, setting boundaries and not making the same mistakes again. If I feel like if you make the same mistake twice, it's a pattern and that might be kind of who you are.
Yeah.
But shit happens. None of us are perfect. And there can be a lot that is tested with this in our in the waters.
sure.
You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of emotions involved. And it's just about learning and growing from those mistakes.
Now, when you first started, okay, and you're doing boy girl, and now you're transitioning to I'm going to bring another girl into the equation because I think
Yeah.
this could be big for a lot of girls listening
Yeah.
too in general, even with just regular relationships.
Yeah.
You obviously were raised monogamous, right?
Yeah.
And in a Christian home, the whole nine, very
Yeah.
square. So how do you compartmentalize? Okay, I'm bringing my boyfriend into this.
Yeah.
He's not a creator, so he doesn't understand. I'm going
Yeah.
to bring him in to work with other women. How do you feel about the scenario first going into it the first time? Did you feel some type of way? And then how do you, over time, tell yourself, like, this is work? I'm sure it tests you
Yeah.
too, right? It tests your
there's
feelings toward the
definitely-
situation.
Yeah, there's times that it takes a lot to, I feel like you need to go through things to grow from them. And even in the beginning when we started this, I just had so much trust in people. I really had never been done wrong
Yeah.
in my life before. And I was really trusting of people. So I never thought that anyone would even try and infiltrate my life, you know what I mean? So I was always super open. I never really got jealous because we had such I didn't think anything would go on. When him and I kind of went through a rocky patch, as much as it was hard, I'm so glad that it did happen now because our relationship's so much better now.
That's good.
Like, I actually feel such a sense of peace. When I first met him for 3 years, I was waking up every morning throwing up. I was so anxious. I don't know what it was. It was like I was so anxious. And I feel like maybe our relationship, there was things that I just didn't know. My body knew.
Yeah.
I couldn't travel. Anytime we'd go to the airport, I was like a mess. I was just throwing up everywhere. I was so anxious. I didn't even know where this came from. Fast forward, we went through a lot of shit in our relationship with this industry, and it's like it just stopped.
Mm.
After him and I have peace now with everything, I like don't have anxiety. It's so weird. Like I just feel like I needed to go through that stuff to really learn. Like, and I'm so happy now.
Yeah.
In a sense, because yeah, it was a lot, but oh my God, my life's so much better now.
That's
like
good.
it's so much better now. So that's my little snippet of
Now,
what the people wanted.
Now, when you go into it now, like with other people, right? Because sometimes, okay, your dynamic with you and D is great,
Yeah, so
but now you're dealing
yeah.
with other people
Yeah,
coming into.
so in the beginning, I definitely wasn't like.
You're just more careless.
Yeah, I was more careless in the beginning. I didn't think anyone would do me wrong, so I was just like, put a blind eye. Oh yeah, you guys could follow each other. Oh yeah, do you need this? Like he could help you. This and that. Now people might think I'm way more reserved. Oh yeah, there's really no reason for you guys to even be talking outside of after the collab. And listen, that's just what happens.
But I mean,
you know
and
what
that's something that you like. Have you sat at some point when you were going through the rocky phase?
Yeah.
Did you feel like you sat down with D and said, "Hey, listen, this is how it's going to work moving forward, so that me and you have structure in our relationship, so we trust one another, and then also the outside
Yeah, we
person."
had a lot of hard talks, which is super important.
Yeah.
And again, that wasn't for anyone else to hear those conversations.
For sure.
So people might think, oh, you didn't have those conversations. No, I just don't post my problems online.
Right.
Like, I'll never respond to problems online. That's not really my thing. I think it just creates more chaos. And I like peace. So, and I'm very level-headed. So I do, it's hard. You can't bring all that stuff online. Those conversations that you have are so important. And we really set, like, he knows what I am okay with and what I'm not okay with. And vice versa, because I wasn't crystal clear in this either.
Yeah, so it's kind of a good and a bad situation.
Yeah.
Like it brought you closer to like, hey, we need to figure this out as a unit now.
As a unit.
Instead of just going aimlessly around thinking everything's just sunshine and butterflies.
Yeah, exactly.
But you didn't know what you didn't know until you got into a situation where you're like, whoa, we need to take a step back.
People are like can really get into your life.
Yeah.
Like really meddle in. And it's like, whoa, we gotta redo this game plan here.
And it goes back to what you said. There's a lot of people that use this very carelessly. So if you're bringing that environment in and you're structured over here, but they're not, that could potentially cause a lot of conflict.
So it's also looking like going back to saying, who do I work with now? I do look at people online now more so and see like their old posts, search their name on TikTok, see what comes up. Like I do see things like that because I need to see, are you just outing people?
Yeah.
Like, are you just sitting there like being a bully? You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't, I can't relate to people like that. Even like if your baby daddy did you so wrong or your boyfriend and this is about complete other different people who aren't even in the industry. I just see people post on TikTok like outing their baby daddy or outing this. It's just like, what are you getting from that?
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy. This is so crazy. Just imagine you're sitting there alone, crying to your camera in your kitchen to strangers who literally don't know you.
Sympathy.
It's that trauma
wild.
sympathy.
It's so wild. Like, think about that. That's insane.
Yeah. People sometimes will just go at the most outlandish thing for attention.
Like that. I just can't relate to that.
Yeah.
Like, that would never be me. When I'm going through the hardest of the hard times in my life, the last thing I'm thinking is, oh, let me go on TikTok live real quick.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's
Hell no, I'm running to my bed, sheets over, I'm in a ball. Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
But it seems like you learned a lot and like how to vet people better and how to have your boundaries in place. I think that's the hardest thing, especially when you grow fast. And whether it's like whatever industry it is, whether it's coaching, OnlyFans, you get notoriety and you are getting this income and you're on a roll. It's so hard to go back and set up structure after it's already all started. And it seems like you guys kind of learned like a little bit of a hard lesson to do so. But now it's like your boundaries are in place and it seems like it's put you in such a better place mentally and emotionally. Yeah.
Another big lesson that you can learn from this industry, I feel like, is being happy for others, even when you're not maybe doing as well and doing the same amount of work. I signed with this management group. They only signed me and one other girl, and they're very big known people. And they signed me and her. That first month, she got up to making $1 million a month.
God.
$1 million a month. Her first month, she went from making $2,000 to $150,000. Like, it was crazy. And my first month, I made 10 extra K.
Damn.
And it just never really grew from after that. And I was envious. Like, I couldn't stand her and I couldn't understand. I was comparing. And it just teaches you, you'll go crazy. Like, you got to teach yourself, my time will come.
Yeah.
It's not right now. And you'll drive yourself crazy. So those are probably the two biggest lessons in life that I've learned from this industry is like boundaries, open communications, really going to make your life more peaceful, and be happy for others because your time will come.
That can be translated to so many
So
different
many other,
areas
yeah,
of
that's
life.
why I said that. I was like, I have to remember.
Well, I mean, look at all the haters online, right? They just
Yeah.
come on and they talk shit to you.
Yeah,
And
like
they've
you
never
guys
met you.
doing that is like just putting more negative like light onto you guys. Like it's how are you going to progress when all you're doing is just negative? Like maybe try being a little positive.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get a little spark.
A little spike. Speaking of spark,
Yeah.
how has OnlyFans translated with just your and Dee's personal sex life? Like,
Yeah. So I feel like our sex life's way better off camera. I feel like on camera, both him and I are very stressed, like about the angle and the mic's not working, or like randomly we missed an angle, so now I'm all annoyed, and it's like things like that I don't necessarily love, and it does feel like a chore.
yeah, because OnlyFans sex, as you've said many times, it's not organic sex.
It's not.
It's staged sex.
It's so insane.
More stage than you think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so insane, and it's like he always will try and get me to come on camera, and sometimes I don't like to because I like that's what like separates it. But at the same time, I do want to give my fans a good video, so sometimes I do. There's definitely a lot of videos where I definitely do, but it's harder for me like in threesomes
Yeah.
to really.
Because you're the emotional part.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, there's so much going on right
Yeah.
now. Like, this
Yeah.
is so crazy.
Especially with some of the girls you work with, like there's just so much ass
so
flying
much
around.
going on.
I would be fucking like just mesmerized. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Well, I think I've.
Those are actually the girls I'm less worried about because he doesn't like a big ol' ass and things like that. So to me, I'm like, oh yeah,
We're good.
we're good.
Well, and that's another big separation between the two is like the goal is not to get you off, right?
Yes.
It's to accomplish whatever
a great
what,
scene.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so if the end is to, let's say, have it where you are getting off in some way, then yeah, that's what we're making
Yeah.
the emphasis. But if it's for him to come on your face or whatever, then you actually getting off on
Yeah, I'm
somewhere
actually
down.
trying to get a better video, like better angles, and not worrying about that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
I
getting
don't-
into that mode.
I think someone had said it on a podcast, like the objective isn't to get the co-star off, it's to make sure that you accomplish the goal at hand for the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the big separation
Yeah.
between the two is like if you guys take the camera off, the goal is to get each other off. That's the
Yeah.
sole goal.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, but when you turn the camera on, I don't think I've ever thought to myself like, oh, I need to make sure that by the time we're done,
Yeah.
that this girl has completed and she was finished in some way. No, I
Yeah.
care more about what's our end shot. Oh, come shot. So now I need to make sure I
Yeah.
get that. That's
and
all that
he's
matters.
so not in the OnlyFans space that like to him the video's done when both girls come. And it's like
Yeah. That's real
a
sex.
lot of these
But that's real.
girls aren't going to.
That's
They're
real
just
sex.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But he definitely will. That's
and that
his,
that could be
yeah.
the other side where he could feel not accomplished
Well,
because
yeah,
of
and
that.
it's for him it's hard if it's not real. So it's like he tries to make it as real as possible because it's hard for him to like really get excited and do a fire scene when he's just like knows it's strictly business.
Now, obviously, we're very similar in running our business the same way, and you're big
Yeah.
on like the social media presence and doing
Yeah.
all the content for that, and not just being OnlyFans. Now,
Yeah.
have you worked with people, or do you have a no when it comes to like, let's say you met some girl and you're going to work with her, but all she wanted to do was the OnlyFans? Would you still proceed with that, or would you regress from that because she's not doing the other stuff?
If she'll do a threesome, I'll probably work with her because that's a better selling video for me.
Yeah,
You mean the other stuff in like reels and stuff?
Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
Correct.
But that would be hard because it's like a big part of that. A big part of my income is subscriptions, and I'm getting those subscriptions from my skits.
Yeah.
So I compare my numbers even with one of my girls. Her and I make very similar money, but hers is all in tips. Mine is all like mostly in subscriptions.
Which is so much more passive.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so I have to do way less work
Yeah.
in the sense of how many videos I need to produce, stuff like that, because I'm constantly getting views and subscriptions of people coming in. So that's where it can like vary with the girls, but I don't know. I guess I would one time, but it wouldn't be like a.
Well, most of your collabs right now that you're doing, they're threesome generated, is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, would you say most of your videos are that?
Yeah. Most. And then I do boy girl, but
What about girl girl? Do you really do that?
yeah, sometimes. I mean, I got back from Miami and I did like 3 girl scenes, but to me they were so pointless. I did it because it's like the girls were there. I might as well. That one of them looked just like me, like it was really good. But they're so vanilla. Like if I'm gonna do a girl, you better like spit in my mouth or something. Like be nasty.
But I think that
I
most-
can't have you be scared.
I feel like a lot of the girls aren't into girls that
It's
are
like
doing
a
it.
solo
it's
next
so-
to each other. Yeah, but I don't like girls like that. Like I'm a 0 to 10 a lesbian. I'm a 0. Like I don't know what to do with a pussy. I don't like girls. I just don't. And I can even sit there and get into it for a scene.
Yeah.
But trust me, you will not get the feeling of me having a crush on you after. Definitely
Yeah.
the second the camera's on, I'm like, all right, nice.
Thanks.
See ya.
And I'm out.
So when you're recruiting to work with people online, your objective is
Yeah, so
I'm
I'll say,
DMing
like,
I'm
yeah.
DMing to do a threesome is what your
Yeah,
first
I'll
priority
always
is.
I'll say, hey, I would love to work together. Then they'll be like, yeah, sounds good. And then I'll follow it up with, so boy, girl sells the best for me. If you want like the ultimate, like if you want to grow a lot from this, then let's do skits. You can see on my page the kind of skits I do. Then we can do a scene. Both be tested, this and that. And then I said, but if not, we can do a girl. I put that at the end, but then if they say girl, most of the time I don't answer.
So that ends up kind of flooding out
Yeah.
who you're really. So your goal and objective, for me, very similar approach,
Yeah.
but I'm going in with finding just one girl.
Yes.
If it's more, it's because opportunity
Yeah, it
presented itself.
happened, yeah.
But you're focused in on like, hey, I already got my dude.
Yeah.
So I already have someone here.
Yeah.
Now I'm just trying to find the right partner that's
Yeah.
down to do the threesomes.
Yeah, and sometimes it's like the most random girl. I worked with this one girl in Dallas where I was like, all right, I'll do this. Like, it'll work. Our video ended up getting like 60 million views. She grew 100,000 followers from that one
Damn.
video.
From a skit.
From a skit, literally the most basic skit. And when I posted, I was like, whoa. So it doesn't even matter to me. That's why I say it really doesn't matter who it is. Just,
As long as
I need
it's-
the social media. I really do. That's like 60% of it.
Now, are you picking someone? So, based off what you just said, are you just picking off of like an attraction that you have for the girl? Because let's say she doesn't have a big following, whatever,
Yeah.
right? Or she's not even a big presence on
A
OnlyFans.
blonde.
So, when you're recruiting or looking for girl potentials, you're not thinking like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go for this girl because she's big. She's gonna help me grow.
Mhm.
You're just trying to find someone that
I
isn't
can help them grow essentially, but it helps me at the end too.
So you're looking for a blonde chick. Now you're not attracted to women, so how are you picking?
I like ones who look like me
Okay.
because I just feel like it translates best.
Of course.
And I do a lot of the family stuff, so it's better if they're like blonde. Then next on the list is, so it'd be like blonde thicks number 1, blonde skinnies number 2, then thick brunette number 3, skinny brunette number
She's got
4.
she's got 'em
Literally
tiered.
like tiers. A BBW girl, I will say, sells fucking great. Just try it. I'm just saying, like, they go really viral.
I want to know, how did like the family stuff start? How did that dynamic start?
So I started working with Melanie, which is so I started working with her a few years ago, and then it just kind of worked.
That's your stepmom.
Yeah.
How is that her role that she already was doing?
No.
Like, how did you say, I want you to be my stepmom in all these videos?
It just, everyone was like, "That's your mom. Like,
Okay.
she looks like you. That's
So
your
they
mom."
were
'Cause
just saying
Melanie,
that,
Or
and
not
then you
stepmom,
started.
mom.
Yeah, but I say stepmom because
Okay.
like it's illegal.
So were
to
people
do.
making were people making comments that put it in your ear like, oh, maybe I should create this dynamic?
Yeah. They were definitely like, "Oh my God, your mom. That's your mom? Oh my God, that looks like your mom." Because she used to be a lot thicker. Like her and I used to really compliment each other. Now she's
She's
like
lost a lot of weight
Yeah,
then.
she's lost a lot of weight. So it definitely works, but it doesn't work as much because
Yeah.
it's like she's so much smaller than me now. Like
Yeah.
I think by like literally 40 pounds.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot.
What is, I need to know, this is off topic, but what is the most absurd custom request you've ever gotten?
So I can name a few. One is I have this guy, I still work with him. Love you, Paul.
Shout out to Paul.
Literally. He has me every week. D ties me up, duct tape in like 10 different places around my feet, around my arms, around the arms here, around my arms, my wrists. Then the shoulders up here, thighs, butt.
All at once?
Yeah. Put a sock in my mouth, 2 pieces of tape over, and I have to sit there and yell for 10 minutes. Just like,
Damn.
for 10 minutes. I do that once
a week.
And
Yeah.
OnlyFans lets you sell that?
It's just a private live with
Oh,
him.
okay. Oh, it's a
Yeah.
private.
I feel like you told me something about that in the gym, and I would
Yeah.
love for you to tell the audience about your perspective on a scene
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
So I like that he does this with me because I feel like OnlyFans is really good for people who have weird kinks. And instead of doing it in a really terrible, harmful way to, let's say, children or humans or whoever, you're just getting your little fix by paying a girl to do it properly online.
Consensually.
You know,
Yeah.
consensually. So, yeah, clearly this guy has a little bit of, something's a little off with that. That's what you like. But I'm so glad he's having me do it. And I respect him for doing that than going and
doing
finding
it.
a girl and traumatizing her. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So that's why I think it helps, is that it helps people kind of get their sexual desires or interests or, ooh, that seems interesting, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And they can kind of feel it out with that and pay money. And I'm fine. It does not traumatize me.
Yeah. And it's
know?
like your boyfriend's doing it, so you feel safe.
Yeah, and I'm just home. But one time, oh my God, our friend like came over to smoke and knocked on the door, and he has the code to our door, opened, and I'm naked. Ugh. And he was like, what is going on? He
He's
started
probably
dying.
traumatized for life.
So that was great. That
That's
was so
great.
He's
funny.
probably never opening that door
I
Yeah.
know.
again.
Yes.
He's knocking
Yes.
several
I
times.
know. I should call him right now and be like, "What did you open the door to me?" He'll
Yeah.
tell
So when
right
you go
now.
on these lives, does D prep it that way, and then you get on live that way, or he
he
does,
does it online.
Okay, so he's
Yeah.
watching it.
He's
watching
watching
the
it
start to finish.
Start to finish.
So you're just sitting there like a normal person.
Yeah.
And D's doing
and
all
you
the
can
rap.
tell he's a little creepy. He likes my hair in pigtails, things like that. So I can respect him doing it.
And then once
on
once
OnlyFans.
D gets you all wrapped up, he just leaves.
leaves.
And then you just scream for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Damn.
And D's just like sitting on the couch.
Don't you
chilling.
ever feel like you're gonna choke on that fucking sock?
I get weird because I'm like, I don't trust the laundry. So that's how
You're
deep
thinking
my
about
trust
the
issues are.
foot
I
in
don't
your
even
mouth?
trust the laundry. I'm like, I do not like this in my mouth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would feel like, I don't know, it would probably make me feel some type
I'm
of way.
weird with that.
But are you
though,
loose
yeah.
about putting it in there? What-
Am I?
Like putting the sock in there?
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, I
it's
could
really
imagine.
gross.
10 minutes, man.
Yeah.
I want to
And-
hear the pizza story.
What pizza store?
You showed me that you were like going through some clips and the video of you eating
Oh,
pizza
yeah.
came out. I love this.
Oh
one.
yeah, I was showing her clips, and then she sees this one, and it's literally me naked eating food. He wanted me to have like a whole buffet of food, and telling him I'm getting fatter with every bite.
Every time you took a bite.
Yeah, every time I took a bite, and there I was, the whole pizza naked at my kitchen table, telling him I'm getting fatter with every bite. That I did like literally a few weeks ago. When D and I first met, this is how I kind of knew him, and I would like last a while, is because this was very new, and I needed him to like slime me. Like Nickelodeon slime with like, it was like relish, ketchup, mayonnaise, like it was disgusting. It was a whole tub of it. And he just had to sit there and dump it.
Okay, so when he's doing this, where are you doing this to not
We should
make
do
a mess?
insert clip here because I think I had a bikini on. You should put it.
Are you doing
In your
this
kitchen?
in the kitchen?
No, I did in the backyard.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I would have had a nightmare for
Oh,
me. I'm
yeah.
just thinking to
No, I
myself, like,
hosed
oh
it
my
down
God,
after.
where would I be
Yeah.
cleaning this?
I hosed it down after. It was in a rental. So yeah, I definitely, and the same guy then paid a few weeks later to have D pie me in the face 18 times in a row.
Like
that's-
it's still on there
yeah,
every
it's
time.
still on there. It's just more.
Yeah, he's
more.
like, don't let her breathe.
That's a very specific number.
Yeah, that was the same guy with the slime and pie.
Now,
I love it.
how often does stuff like this come across your way? Is it kind of sporadic? Are these people consistently coming to you for stuff like this? Obviously, the
I
guy
feel
that
like the people who do customs are so picky that they never really get a second custom because they always complain about something. And that's why I don't necessarily love doing customs anymore because
it's
it's
like they're never satisfied.
they're never happy. It's like, oh, well, you didn't say this one word. And it's like, you told me a script of 50 things to say. I missed one word, and it's like they're freaking out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So sometimes it's so detailed and so intense that I don't know. I'd rather just do a video chat.
Yeah.
Get it done. I know you're happy. You just nutted right in front of me. Like,
Good to
done.
go.
Yeah, good to go. Have a great day.
Yeah.
You know, like I have guys who literally like run to their car during their lunch break. They're jerking off in the car.
On a live.
On FaceTime, yeah.
Okay.
I do either or. FaceTime is more expensive because it's like face to face. And then private lives I'll do for like $100, $150.
What do you
real
charge
quick.
for a FaceTime 1-to-1?
At least 200. But then it's hard for me sometimes because like someone will offer me 150 and I'm like, the 150's right there. All I gotta do is just do this call. Fine.
Yeah.
Like it's hard. I think about
It also
that.
depends on like how bad you want to do it in that moment,
Yeah,
right? Like if
like
you're not in the mood, that 150 might not be worth it.
Yeah, but a lot of the time I'm super money driven. So most of the time I'm like, it's right there.
For like 10
it's
minutes.
like dangling in front of me. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
fine.
Okay.
You know.
So since you're not a sexual person, do you like go into like a persona or a character? Because like I'm sure you're talking dirty and saying nasty shit to these dudes.
I think they like that I'm a little quirky though too.
Mm.
That I don't necessarily like say what all these porn stars say, and I might say a lot of the same things. It kind of shows that I'm like more normal about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
More real than in some girls I've worked with. It's like, whoa, you just talked crazy this whole scene. Like this is crazy. Like it's just too much. You
Not
know?
real. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, are you talking about in the DMs or on an actual video?
No, on a scene. Like
scene.
when they're like just so intense, dirty talking during it. It's like, okay, like
There has to be some quiet.
yeah, there should be some quiet. You know what I mean? So I hear that like
But do you think that comes from more of like the porn stars than it does like the OnlyFans girls? Or do you feel like
no, that the one I'm thinking of was definitely an OnlyFans girl, but she was like a hoe too and just super like blown out. So I feel like, you know, those girls can be super extra.
excessive on purpose?
Yeah, just excessive with everything, you know?
Because I've had some experiences with like the porn stars where I'm like, okay, you don't need to be like, that's too much.
Bouncing on his dick, so insane. He hates that. Like he hates when he's sitting there and you're like bouncing your fat ass on there. It's like, he's like, that shit hurts. Like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing too. Like, it's just too intense. Like, just like, give a little bounce.
Yeah.
You know? Be sexy. Give a little, you know?
A little.
Be airy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they'll be like,
Like trying to make him remember this tomorrow.
yeah. And he's like, I hate that. You know, we did a scene with like 5 girls and him, and he did not like that. Like they were all going crazy.
Yeah. So how do you do a scene where there's that many girls? And
It's like a reverse gangbang.
Like what do you? So is it just
he
one
just
after
lays
the other?
there. He laid on the counter, and we just
One after the other.
one after the
so
other.
what are you doing in between that time? Like when it's not your
like
turn?
girl stuff. You
and
can
it's just
like
all being filmed at once.
yeah, can be eating a pussy too. You know, there's other girls to kind of. But to me, I don't know how those scenes do well. To me, a threesome does good, but like all those scenes is like it's just too much.
Yeah,
going
I was gonna say
on.
it's not as
Like a group girl
intimate.
scene is terrible. Like I'll get 2 buyers. Like terrible.
So the 5+ girls never actually turns out because you can't. Yeah, I mean it's so fantasy like that. Like you're also farther back.
Yeah.
So how do you get the details? So the intimacy, I think threesome,
Yeah.
maybe 4
Yeah.
potentially is like the max, but I feel like 3 is that extra
it's
person
too much.
is enough.
And they all like you don't need all that. It's good for like the social media day,
Correct.
like to get all that group stuff.
Yeah.
But then it's probably good to get like separate scenes with the girls.
Yeah, I remember when I had my first foursome, I thought it was cool, like to have it.
Yeah.
And when I actually had to do it,
Yeah.
I was like, no,
No.
there's so
much.
much. Oh my god, and it was
Yeah.
like sweating.
Yeah.
Like it just, I'm like nothing about this. I
You
would
and Dee
never
probably
do this.
said the same,
I would
like,
never do this in real
intense.
life. Ever.
Yeah. It's
Did you? How many have you done? Just one?
2.
2?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't done them since. But I mean, having that happen too, what's the likelihood that you're gonna get 4 committed
Yes.
girls? Like we're talking about people not having good business etiquette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to get
This
that
was
many
5,
girls, yeah, to get
and
that
one
many
of them
girls.
even canceled. It was supposed to be 6.
Damn.
Yeah.
I want to address a misconception that people think that like D pimps you out.
Oh yeah. So a common comment on my Facebook is that like anytime I post a solo video, the top comment is, "Oh, did your pimp let you out today?" And it's like, oh God. So it's actually very opposite. I'm very much in control. and he kind of just goes with my flow.
Yeah, you pimp him out pretty
Yeah,
much.
Definitely.
I
We
mean,
always
he
say
pretty
that.
much does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, hey, D, we have a shoot with 6 women.
Yeah,
lined up.
like he would never say to me like, "Oh, we should shoot with this girl." Like that would never happen. And if he wanted to do a scene with a girl, he should tell the girl to message me because that's not the way to do
Yeah.
it. And I think
And that's part of the structure that you had in place.
Yeah.
Because I, one of the things too is you do a lot of videos that are controversial, right?
Yeah.
And obviously it's a view thing. So you're looking at it like every video is essentially showing him cheating on you.
Yes.
I mean, that's pretty much every single video.
Yes.
So does that carry into your relationship from the outside perspective? And then how do you hone that in with him?
Yeah.
Because he's not a creator to say, hey, yeah, I know we're playing this line here of like cheating and the whole nine, but how do you make sure that that doesn't surface to more?
Yeah.
So we actually started doing that after we had gone through a lot of stuff. So do I think 4 years ago we would have been able to do skits like that? No.
And that's the crazy part. You went through it.
Yes.
And we've talked about this personally, but like you go through it, you went through that, and then you're in bringing this in after. It wasn't the other way around.
Yeah.
It's not like you were doing these videos for controversy and then you guys went through your rocky patch. It was reversed.
Yes.
So what in your mind was like, you know what? I'm going to see past the issue. We talked about it.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to promote something that is essentially saying, try me.
Yeah, so I think I'm so much more confident now in saying I learned a lot too with what we went through. I don't want to have any guilty conscience. I want to be 100% like say how it is and not be embarrassed of anything that maybe I've done. So I really I'm more confident in the sense of like you could do what you want to me. The repercussions will happen. Like if anything happens again, like this, I respect my peace too much.
Yeah.
But we have such good communication now that it's like, I just don't even feel like both of us, like, we're in such a good spot. I just don't even worry. Like, I think that we see the value in being together. We see the value in being together. We saw what it was like when we weren't. And it was so much chaos and havoc and just insaneness that it's like it kind of brought us back together months later.
I love that.
Where it was like, wait, like I had so much peace with you. Like what were we doing, And so with both of our mistakes, we both definitely had mistakes and I definitely want to make that known too.
Has he ever said no to someone that you've presented as a creator? Or do you ask him before you even reach out?
I show them and I know the girls that he's not going to be as into, but if they make money, he's like, fuck it.
Okay. He's
I'll
down.
take a few shots.
He's down. He's down.
Yeah, and I think, it's less personal for him because he's just joining in on your stuff. Like you said, you facilitate everything.
Yeah.
So he's not the one scouting.
Yeah.
So I think it's a different approach too.
Yeah, I think we saw what it's like to live the skits and it's such havoc that I think it just taught us like, that's not really, I don't even think that it would be a problem. You can't say for sure, but
yeah, and even like what you said about the conflict of how you do your posts and what it looks to, like you can only control what you can control, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you put your trust in him, he puts his trust in you, and everything else works itself out the way.
I can't live thinking about what he's doing or what I'm doing or things like that. Like if you're with someone and just constantly worried, like maybe be with someone else. And obviously if you've been through things, there's going to be a period where you are, but if after some time you're not growing from that, it's time to,
And you're a good example of someone that's doing this. So like a question I would have to you is like, there's a lot of girls that are in this dynamic where let's say they let a boyfriend in on a threesome and they say like, what if this girl catches feelings for him? So like in those dynamics, are you just 100% trusting in that's not going to lead to anything because D is going to handle it the right way? Because you could do a threesome right now and that girl could low-key catch feelings for D. And is that a thing that's in your brain?
No, because I don't even let the conversation like go on to where I think that they'd even fall for him that much. In our past, it's been people that I've really brought closer to my personal life, met my parents, met like a lot of important people in my life. So I would never get that close to someone again.
And that goes back to what you were saying, like why she doesn't, you don't hang out with people outside of the workspace. Like there's an objective in place, like you said, right? He doesn't follow them.
Yeah.
They're not liking each other's shit. These are all parameters in which you work, so that way you're not having to worry about that little outside noise.
It's just respect. Like it's just having respect. People already see that we're doing cheating stuff. I don't need you all in the girls that we're working with likes and messages and this and that. It already looks crazy what we're doing.
Yeah.
Let's leave it like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't like fuel the fire. And same with me. Like this one guy got so irritated with me that I did a lot of the same skits, but I wasn't liking and commenting on all his stuff. Well, you look just like D. I'm not going to sit there and comment fire on all your skits.
Yeah.
Like of you cheating on your girlfriend. Like I just am not going to do that. And
Yeah.
whether D would not give a fuck. When I told him that, he's like, why aren't you just liking his stuff? Who cares? I'm like, no, it's just like the principle.
Yeah. Is OnlyFans something you see yourself doing long term, or have you thought about an exit strategy or what you want to do next?
Thanks to you. I have a great financial advisor.
Yay!
So I've been setting up with her. I give her, she takes out weekly money out of my account and she invests it for me. And so if I can keep this up for like another 10 years, I can retire.
Okay.
So that's my goal.
Sick.
Yeah.
Sick. I messaged her one day. I was like, have you done any financial planning for yourself? And she's like, she thought I was asking her for help.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, yeah, I've helped people with this. And I'm like, no, I want to hook you up with my girl,
Yeah.
dog.
Because people always ask me for help.
Yeah.
No one knows what an IRA and all these things are. And I already had an IRA before I even met with her. Because my parents are very good with their money. Anyone thinking about this, if you have kids or anything, put like whatever you can. My parents put $10,000 when I was a kid. And I haven't even touched that account yet. And right now it's at over 100,000.
Damn.
So let that shit grow.
Yeah.
Like it will. And I just say that with anyone. Like if I had a kid, even if I didn't have 10K to put, I'd put 2. That'd still be 50. You know what I mean? Or 20 something. It's something. So I try and I really want to not really do anything else because it's hard to like break out of this career. But I just want to be smarter with my money.
Do you feel like this career has shunned you from other opportunities in your life?
Yeah. Like I work with Fashion Nova, which is nice. They work with me. But the second I start posting too risky things, they don't want that. They'll message me and be like, you got to like calm down. Like the content needs
With
to
your
be
other content or their content?
both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like if my stuff's getting too risky, they probably won't renew me. Like the management will, a few weeks ago, they messaged me like, oh, don't post for the next week. Like management is reviewing your profile.
Okay.
And they just like, thank God everything like was good. But yeah, they definitely, they don't like the porn look. So if it starts to look too porny, they're like,
No.
yeah.
No.
So I do think it deters, but then also like, it's hard. I feel like once you're at a certain level, like Mia Malkova, Riley Reid, they're not going to get many opportunities turning them down.
Yeah.
Because they're so big.
Yeah.
But I think the girls getting to them who still make great money aren't going to get as many
There's
opportunities.
a tipping point.
There is.
Yeah.
Like to where you're like next level, Sky Bree, like, you know, Violet Myers, like all these big name people. I don't think they have as much of an issue getting brand deals.
What advice would you give to someone who, I know you gave some advice.
Yeah.
Like who's just starting this career or wants to go.
Yeah, and really make sure it's something you want to do. Like the platforms are always changing. There's really no support when it comes to like, you know, HR or anything like that. So if you lose an Instagram or you lose a TikTok, like you really just got to start from ground one. So sometimes a more normal job is the safer route when it comes to just your peace. I wake up every morning like, oh, is everything gonna be here today?
Yeah.
You know, like
I knew my account's closed.
Yeah, you can lose your OnlyFans in the snap of a finger if you're chatters or if you run it yourself and you just don't tag someone, or if you have someone who runs your page and they sell something that they shouldn't be selling, you know?
Yeah.
So there's I know one girl, she lost her whole OnlyFans because her chatters were selling her to have sex for like $100.
What do you mean? Oh, someone who is working her page.
Yeah.
I'm like, her chatters.
Yeah, she had like they were saying like, oh, $100. Send me $100 tips to like we can have sex.
Oh, like prostituting.
And that got her banned in a second. She wasn't even her.
Wow.
So, and there's no support you can talk to. Like,
she's gone.
Hey, yeah, she's gone. So I just tell people that, like, be careful, make sure it's really something that you want, and unless you're going to go full force, please don't waste your time, because you being like, oh, I don't want to be online, or I'm worried about what this person's going to think, like, you're just never going to make it.
That's why I
you're
only did
gonna-
it for 5 days.
Yeah, you're only going to be in that, like they say only like 5% of the people actually make money. You're going to be in that 95% unless you really don't give a fuck.
Well, you did it like most, right? Is those first couple months, of course, you're going to make money because it's new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone wants to just see something. But then the longevity of it is
Yeah.
where you start to deteriorate if you're only doing so much. Now, are there some girls that don't sell sex on there and they still make money? Yeah,
Yeah.
they're probably 20 years old.
Yes.
And they're building this like fairy tale for this
Yes.
this guy that probably is a pedophile some way, and
Yes.
he's getting off on just being able to see a little bit. But just like that, subscriber base, you have to keep bringing more
Yeah.
in. So at some point, you're going to
And
fizzle
the new
out.
girls are smart. They're learning how to make hella money without doing much.
Yeah.
Like without doing porn. And when we're like, fuck it, we're all just
We're just fucking.
Yeah. 5 years ago. And I
Yeah.
was like, I guess that's what we're doing.
I still can't believe
But-
that that's how you got introduced to it. Like, we're going
Yeah.
to do a photo shoot, and it was
Yeah.
like a full on.
It was a full girl. I'd never even seen a pussy before. I was
Did
like,
and you
whoa.
were down there? Or
Yeah, I
they were
had to.
down-
I still to this day, I'm like, oh God, if you ask any girl I've done a scene with, I'm probably the worst because I don't care to learn. I don't know anything.
Yeah.
I just,
It's
not
it's
my,
work.
Yeah, it's work.
A lot
when
of
you're,
times we
when
do
you're
things-
doing when you're doing threesomes, are you invested in the girl, or is it more just about fixated on the two of you on
I'm
the dude?
so like involved about what's going on around, like, cause it's D. I know, like, oh my God, is it hot right now? I'm looking, is he sweating? Getting him a cold towel, like making sure. 'Cause second he's hot, it's like that doesn't work as well. So I got to make sure that like everything's good. It's more of like I'm stressed. Like,
Yeah.
because everything is the fan off. Like, you know, it's just everything. I'm always looking around. Certain girls I work with, I know like the area to be like how you are, like spotless, like clean. I'm not really like that. So I did videos where it's like there was drinks in the background, and girls have told me before, like, I don't want to sell this video.
Mm.
So, you know, it's like I have to be very prepared.
You want a great scene.
Yeah.
It's not about the sex as
Yeah.
much as it is a great scene.
Yeah, checking to make sure the camera, the mics, like all that. So, yeah, it does take the fun out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, but I feel like most people like that are doing it right, they're not in there for the fun.
fun. Yeah, it's not supposed to be fun.
Yeah, I think the fun I get is out of the content making outside of it.
Me too.
And that's where you connect, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even for someone like yourself with these girls, like, how do you feel comfortable enough to go, okay, I'm going to pawn you off to D in this scene? You got to, outside of just scoping them on the internet,
you do
doing
have to
these funny
talk a little
videos
bit.
and socializing and all
Yeah.
that builds for the connection when it comes
Yeah.
time to go, okay, I'm going to let you work with my man.
Yeah.
I got to feel some sort of
It
comfort
is
in
hard
there.
for me though, because I'll sit there and they'll start talking about their life, and it's just like I really don't care.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just don't care about the guy you're dating right now or the problems that you're having right now. Like, I just don't. And I get that's making them feel more comfortable, so I hear it. But Dee's actually the one who talks to most of them, because I'll just be sitting there, like, getting prepared, getting
Which
ready.
is probably good because that connection, when they're coming in as the oddball,
Yeah.
I'd rather them be connected with him in some way in that connection because they still got to suck his dick.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
not like they're doing it to you. They're more fixated on him
Yeah.
than it is about you.
Yeah. But I definitely I'm just stern, so I can see how that could be a little intimidating. for
Stella stands
people.
on business.
I am very stern. Like,
Yes.
once I get in that work mode, I do not care about how your weekend was. I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, at all.
Now when you're in those scenes and you know, okay, it's me and D and this girl coming in as the oddball, do you have a way of breaking that seal to make that girl feel welcomed and invited into that scene aspect, or do you feel like most girls are just when the camera comes on, they're
Yeah, a lot of them are good at that. Like, and I like the porn girls especially. They're like really like, it's like they turn it on, they're ready. And sometimes I like it just really depends on the person though. Like, some OnlyFans girls are just really about it too. They'll show up, they're just great, make everyone feel comfortable, and then leave, and you never hear from them again.
What about I know you're going to work with one soon that's new and never done one. So what's the approach there that you
Yeah.
know she's going to be nervous?
Yeah. We've done one before where it was her first threesome, and I just took it normal. Like, I always say, like, stop me if you need anything. Like, we can always cut that part out.
Yeah.
Like, tell me if you need something. I always ask the do's and don'ts before. It was so funny. The girl that we did our first threesome with, she like asked, she's like, do you have a big dick? Right before we were about to start it. She's like, because I only fuck big dicks. And in my head, I'm like, it made him all nervous because he's like, oh God. It was like the second before we were about to pull his pants down. And then it's like, she couldn't even take it anyway. So it's like, why'd you ask? Like,
Did you
the
not do
whole
your
time
research?
She's like, You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, you couldn't even take it. What do you mean you only fuck big dicks?
She was just trying to talk a game.
Or she wanted to intimidate him before.
Yeah, she was. So I just try and make people feel like comfortable, that they can stop and start at any point. And like I don't think we're like weird or anything.
No.
So they don't really like get.
You're very friendly and open and
I try and be like at least nice. But
See, and when I've been in threesome scenarios like that, and let's say one's superior and the other one's out, I will always tell that girl, well, I'm not in a relationship with them, so I'll tell them, hey, listen, you're the comfortable one here, so you have to like welcome her in, because some girls will be shy to even suck the dick right away, right?
Oh
so
yeah,
like when the
D
scene
can't
starts,
even get hard until every person in the scene has sucked his dick.
So when the scenes, so when the scene starts, are you the initiator to the girl
I'll
of
be
like suck his dick?
Come on, because I know that he's not gonna get hard until she sucked it too, and they'll try and get me to get it hard first. I'm like, no, this isn't. He's nervous right now, so you need to just get in there.
Once you're in, then you're in.
So I'll just and I'm really good. Like even if I feel jealous in the moment, they'll never know.
Yeah.
So
and how do you cut that off? Have you ever felt like even as many scenes as you've done now, do you still feel that feeling? Because I don't think that's wrong to feel, right? That's a human feeling to feel, right? Especially if someone.
There's only one girl I got jealous with actually. And she doesn't even do porn anymore. Like she's completely out of the industry. And it was right after him and I had gone through a lot, so that could have been a part 2. But she was just really fucking nasty, and I knew he loved that. So I was just like, ooh, you know.
Yeah.
So that made me nervous. Not nervous, but I was just like, I don't like that. But I just had to check myself, you know. And she was.
Did you tell him you were feeling jealous about it?
I told him after. I was like, you know, I know you were really enjoying that, and I know you like that stuff, but you need to like make me feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
And he was really cool.
Like some
about
aftercare for you.
He was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like,
the communication is huge.
Yeah.
What would you tell most girls that are in that position, whether they're with someone or doing it like this, like what has been like successful for you that has allowed you to stay successful from scene to scene to scene without letting your personal emotions get into it?
You need to really be like locked in with your own mindset and really know how to control your emotions. I think that's huge. People in 25 learn how to control your emotions.
Yeah.
Like if you talk to someone in a calm, collective, and logical way, it's going to come across a lot better than me screaming, oh, you made me feel like shit. You didn't fucking touch me as much. You were so into it. Like, what is that's just attack.
Yeah.
Like,
my mom used to tell me, she said, your approach is everything. And if you say that they did something as your way of saying it, it's an attack. So it's natural for me to want to lash back. But if you said to me, this is how it made me feel, it changes the whole dynamic. So I think that when someone gets under that pressure, it's instant that they want to lash because their emotions are getting the best of them.
You got to be able to control your emotions. That's so key to just living a happy life. Like I can say everything with such a clear mind, and my adrenaline might be high and crazy and I'm like spiraling inside, but I can still, you got to learn how to get that out in a right way, and not a way that's just like an attack, or even the opposite where you're so emotional you can't even stop crying to get it out. Like there's different aspects to it. You got to be able to talk about how you feel in a comfortable, clear, calm way. Like it just, so I definitely like talk to him in that way. That's how I've always been. So I think that helps a lot. Like he can be more, I think guys more in general can be more the lash out type. So if you come to them with that energy, it's just not going to do well.
Now, do people ever like say anything about like the fact that he's fucking all these girls to you personally in any way where it makes you feel some type of way? Like I think that's another thing with girls questioning is like, how's it going to make you look that you're just letting D fuck all these girls?
Yeah, I think him and like he reposts every single one of my skits. He comments on every single one of my posts on fucking 8 pages that I have. He fucking sits there, likes, comments, shares like all our skits. Like I'm so comfortable in our relationship, and he's so supportive of what I'm doing, and like I'm just not worried. Like I'm really, I really like where we are.
Yeah, it's just noise.
It's just noise. Like he's so supportive of me, and it's fine. Like I don't really.
I think you said it best too. Like if you go into this profession and worry about other people's opinions, then you're gonna fail in everything.
Yeah, like even he had asked me about how I started to not care about people's thoughts just in general, or my parents. And I was just like thinking about it for like 10 minutes. I'm like, I just never really cared. Like, I just didn't. Like, at the end of the day, you're not paying my bills. And
Yeah.
if you're going to judge me off that and I'm not hurting anyone, I'm in my house. Like,
Yeah.
I don't do anything. And I'm such a good friend. I'm so loyal that that's on you.
Yeah.
Like, sorry.
Yeah, your conscience is clean.
Yeah, I'm good. Like, that's
Yeah, and
you got to keep your conscience clean.
Yeah, I think a lot of people care about other people's opinions, and that's something that's
I
hard for
just
people to get over.
Yeah, like one of my good friends from home, like, oh, I can never do OnlyFans. She's got these big natural titties. I'm like, oh, you'd kill it. She's like, no, I can't. Like, my mom. I'm like, you're sitting there in this studio apartment, struggling, barely can pay your bills, and you're worried about your fucking mom?
Right.
Are you kidding?
Right.
Like, that's crazy.
Is she
That's
helping?
like the last thing on my mind. Like,
Yeah, and I think because the generation in which we are and where our parents are, that was all about judgment.
yeah, it was.
You know, because I mean, even for me, my mom will say like, "Oh, why do you have to get so many tattoos?"
Yeah.
Like that was a big thing, as if having tattoos is a reflection of who I am deep down and how
Yeah.
you raised me as a human. But back in those days, our parents' generation, the opinions of other people validated
It
every
really
single
was a
thing that
lot.
they did.
And I have to really give my parents like such a pat on the back for just like not caring about the noise. And like when people start saying things like, oh, she lives in Vegas, like why? Like he just shuts it down
I
so
love that.
quick. And he's so like, yeah, I love them. They really are team me.
That's
You know,
awesome.
it's like one of the few, actually probably the only person I actually talk to about my finances, about everything, because I don't feel like it's like a jealous thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to like talk to people about you're good because they just feel like everything's down. My parents did great for their life. They're like, woohoo!
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like they're just happy. So I like that. Like I'm really happy with.
It seems like this business and this industry, although you've had a lot of struggles, and we didn't even get to like specifics of
Yeah.
things, just generalities, has grown you and molded you into the woman you are in such a positive way
Yeah.
to be fully comfortable with yourself.
Yeah.
And that's like all anyone could ask for.
Yeah, I would definitely do everything the same again. I definitely would. Cause
And even being in the, you've had to deal with adversity. That's what I've said too. Like being in this space, it does test you
yeah.
in your relationship, in personal life, and
Yeah,
all those different
on both
things.
ends. It
Yeah.
tests both of us. And
Yeah.
it's really about learning from the test that maybe you failed at one point.
Yeah.
You know, and not doing it again. Because I do say anything twice is a pattern.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
Learning from that first mistake.
Yeah.
But
if
I
you
mean,
can't learn from it, I can't help you.
yeah, and I think the big thing you said was the communication, right?
Yeah.
When you said how he praises you and he's always on your
Yeah.
stuff, like that just gives you a release
It makes
of
me
like,
feel so good.
I could do my thing and not
Yeah.
have to feel like, is he worried? Is he this? Is he that? Like
yeah,
having
he's
that
just
support.
fully supporting me, and everyone sees that. And I like when people see that. Like people could think, oh, I want to hide this good thing, but I just feel the opposite. I'm like, I love that. Any one of my posts, it's like him just, you know,
He's
pushing
gassing
me.
you
Yeah,
up.
gassing me up. I
Gas
couldn't
up
think
your
of the
girl.
word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I like that. So it
Mm.
makes me like not even think about the noise. I'm like, okay.
Well, thank you so much for coming on our
Yeah.
podcast, Stella.
Thank you
we
so
love
much.
you.
Love you guys.
Yeah, you were our first one. And it's
Yeah.
fitting because I feel like you were the perfect first one.
Yeah.
Because when we were talking about getting people on, I wanted it to be where, you know, we're talking about their life, but also it's just shooting the shit with their
Yeah.
friends. And you were like the perfect candidate.
Yeah,
to
I
have on
literally
here.
told Devin, I was like, I love the way Ashley tells stories. And then that same day, he said, oh, she's my podcast host. I was like, I love that.
Yes.
And then you guys became friends after that show. How did you guys
Yeah.
actually meet? Did I introduce you guys? Or
No, you reposted her story
oh,
on
the
your
one
story.
of him, Stephen dying.
Yes. And I was locked in
Yeah,
on that post, and no one ever gets me locked in. Like, I am such a quick mind. I'm from New Jersey, New York. Like, I'm so fast paced. And I was like, I watched the whole thing, and I never do
And that's
that.
like 5.5 minutes.
Yeah, I watched and I was crying by the end. Like, I was sobbing. I was telling Dee, I'm like, oh my God. I was like, she's such a good storyteller. I just was like, I liked her for some reason.
And then I saw you guys talking at the gym, but I didn't interrupt because you hadn't introduced me to her yet. And then I think you guys were talking another time, and then you and I had talked that who she was, and I came into the
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember watching that. I was like, she is just so articulate. I like smart people. I like people with like a head on their shoulders. And I always felt that with
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely are. You definitely are a good storyteller.
Thank you.
Because
Yeah.
I even watch all your stuff too.
Yeah.
You definitely do make me cry. Like the one, like the last one you put of Steven on the day.
Anything of Steven
when
makes
you-
me cry.
when you-
Literally anything. I'm like, fuck, here I
Well,
go
this,
again.
This last one you put up, you were like really serious, and then all of a sudden you just started crying. I'm like, I'm crying now too.
I know. Literally.
It just got intense
yeah.
like in seconds.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah.
but you have such a good side, like a funny side, like a playful side, a smart side. You can just play it all.
Thank
so.
you. Thank you. That's why I'm glad we're here. It's
Yeah.
all worked out.
Yeah, no, it's perfect.
Well, thanks, guys.
Yes. So Stella Andrews.
Yes.
She has
Yours is kind of hard to say, so it's like Stella Andrews with three S's,
Three
I
S's
think,
at
right?
the
Yes.
end.
But
Yeah.
when you tell people your Instagram, do you prefer to go to that one, or do you tell
Probably
which one's
'cause
the
it's
one
like
that
the-
because there's Stella Can't
Yeah.
Live, there's
That
you
one
know,
you'll have to type in the whole thing to see. So I would just
Stella
type in
Andrews.
Stella Andrews, 3 S's, and yeah, you
we'll
could
tag
type
her.
in. Yeah.
Yeah. Ashley Contorno, Devin Physique, Tell No Lies Podcast on Instagram, tellnoliespod.com, and Tell No Lies Podcast on YouTube.
Thank you guys for another great
Yes.
episode. We're happy to have Stella here as our first one, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace.